Hey everybody out there in YouTube land, Plagios here, playing another round of SWTOR PvP on Hey Blinken, my operative heals, level 65, and we're playing Novare Coast. Giving you a little look at some of the gear that I got and my utility tree. Open to suggestions on anything anybody's seen here on the utilities. I'm taking a guess here, just trying to see what works for me.
Republic defense bunker. Primary weapon. Coastline artillery emplacements. Capture a minimum of 2 emplacements to penetrate.
I gotta say, this was one of the craziest games I think I've ever played in SWTOR. We have 4 healers on this game.
Assault begins now.
Throughout the game, nobody dies. There is one guy that dies twice on our team. Not quite sure how he died, to be honest with you. I wasn't paying that much attention, but he was not down south here. More than likely, he's trying to play objectives and get some of those turrets up to the north on the east and west. What's really amazing about this, and I mean makes good sense as well too, is that the other team, their top healer, had 500,000 heal points compared to our top healer that had 2 mil, and all the other healers had over 1 mil, including myself. The problem is that they weren't getting great heals on the enemy team. There wasn't enough damage being put out to take them down because we had so many healers. Look at those numbers. Just look at them. We could have easily won this game if we had decided to go and actually play objectives. This is one of those rare games, by the way, that I don't really play the objectives. I just want to be down here with this heal fest. Had I stepped away with somebody and gone to get west, we probably would have won it. Would have started to split up the team, and then, you know, we probably could have handled it pretty well. Get their forces to divide a little bit rather than just coming down here on the south and beating us up. What's interesting is they got this southern turret before we did. Had we got it first, I don't think they would have got it either, and we would have won the game. But because they got it first, they ended up winning this game with minimal heals. It just blows my mind. The enemy team was getting heals, and they were doing a little bit, but they weren't getting massive heals like we were kicking out on our side. I just couldn't help it. I wanted to be down here. I wanted to be part of this. And unfortunately, I got last on the heals, but I kind of learned a little lesson here as well too. I think I learned a lesson here, is that the other heals were sorcerer heals. Do big heals, lots of AoE heal, and I think they were counteracting mine a little bit. That were heal over times because they were kicking up those big heals, but sort of negating my small little hot heals. Still did pretty good though. Still pulled over 1 mil, so I was pretty happy with that. But yeah, I'm not kicking myself for getting the lower end of the heals. I just think that's the class. But the numbers on here that I see at some points, as far as the heals that are coming back, just boggle my mind. There's just so many green numbers floating. It's funny. It's sickening. It's ridiculous. Is what it is. But it was so much fun. It was a unique experience, and I really enjoyed it. Actually, I'm glad that I got to experience it, and I'm glad to be able to share it with you guys as well. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I do. I just find this fascinating. There were a couple occasions where we had pretty close to losing people, but nobody died. At least nobody down here anyway. Friendly or enemy. And it boggles my mind even more when I look back and see the numbers and realize that they didn't have very strong heals. But we just weren't kicking out the damage. Oh, it was so funny. There are lots of knockbacks, lots of stuns in this game as well too. And there are occasions where people are trying to attack me and they just give up. This guy, for example, does. I don't think he does here, but you'll see a little bit later. He just stops hitting me. He just stops and moves on to somewhere else. As much as I enjoy this, though, I'm hoping that as I continue to play at 65, we don't have an overabundance of heals. I've kind of been experiencing that a little bit already. Several of the games that I've played, there's just been... I mean, at most, you really just need 2 healers in one of these. But on several occasions, I've seen many more than that. With that in mind, though, there's a possibility I might decide to change my character and go to Lethality, because I'm really curious about playing Lethality Operative. But for now, we're going to kind of duke it out a little bit and see what we get out of it. Because there will come a point as I'm playing this guy that I'm not going to be able to really do anything with my comms, as far as I know. It might be different if I start doing Arena, which I might look into doing. But, you know, once you get so many comms, what else are you going to do with them? But buy, you know, stuff that's going to work for another spec. So we might check that out down the road. But here's one of those examples. I think it's right here. Look at all that green. Look at it. There's so much green on the names. Here we go. Look at that. You can't even see the names behind of who's putting the heals out. There's so much healing going on right there. And I see Adelie's getting hit over there. She's starting to drop a little bit, but even when they get down to really low percentages, most of the time the heal switch and just bring them right back up again. The other team is just trying so hard. As I'm watching, I'm not seeing their health dropping hardly at all. It was just a lot of fun. Yeah, there's an example there. That Guardian. Oh, he came back. He gave up, it looked like, but he came back. I don't know what happened there. Did I get knocked back or did I get pulled by somebody? I'm not quite sure. There's some big numbers again. Look at all those heals. You can't even really see the numbers. There's so many of them. So many donuts. I call those circles down there donuts. I think that's a common term, actually. I picked that up a while ago from others. They're little donuts. Donuts of health. Healthy donuts. But yeah, if I'm looking at the enemy team, I'm really not seeing their health dropping at all. It was just such a fun game. As a healer, if you play a healer, you might really get into this. If you don't play a healer, it's probably a boring video for you, but I really enjoyed it. I'm really glad to have experienced it. Hopefully, again, I don't care to experience it again, to be honest with you, but it was really enjoyable. So let's look at the numbers here. 2.2 mil for the top healer. I got 1.2 myself. Their top healer, 594,000. Their top damage was over a mil. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, like and subscribe. Feel free to comment down below. And until next time, I bid you adieu. Peace.